Attention! If you're planning to move to Australia in 2025 or you're already here on a visa, stop everything right now. 7 massive immigration changes just dropped that will completely alter your plans. Some of these changes started last week. Some begin next month, and if you don't know about them, you could lose thousands of dollars, miss critical deadlines, or even have your visa application rejected. I'm not exaggerating. This is the biggest shakeup to Australian immigration in a decade. So stay with me because what I'm about to tell you in the next few minutes could be the difference between getting your Australian dream or watching it disappear. Welcome to the channel. My name is, and today we're breaking down the 7 shocking immigration changes that hit Australia in 2025. I've spent the last week reading through government documents, talking to migration agents, analyzing policy updates, and speaking with people whose applications have already been affected. What I discovered is incredible. Some changes are good, some are terrible, and all of them will impact your journey to Australia. In this video, I'm going through each change one by one, explaining exactly what it means for you, showing you real examples, and giving you clear action steps. So grab your notebook, get ready to take notes, because this information is gold. Let's jump straight into change number 1, and this one is already in effect as of December 7, 2024. The Skills and Demand Visa has officially replaced the old TSS visa. This is huge. The new visa has 3 pathways: specialist skills for high earners making over $135,000, core skills for mid-level workers, and essential skills for lower-skilled workers. Here's what's different. You now only need 1 year of work experience instead of 2. That's massive for younger workers. Processing times are faster, some applications in just 7 days for the specialist stream. But here's the catch. The salary thresholds are increasing dramatically in July 2025. The core skills minimum jumps to $76,515. If your job offer is below that, your application will be rejected. So if you're planning to apply, you need to do it before July or negotiate a higher salary right now. Change number 2, and this is the one that's causing panic among students. Student visa requirements just got brutally strict. As of January 1, 2025, onshore student visa applications must include a confirmation of enrollment, not just a letter of offer. That means you have to pay your tuition fees up front before applying. No more applying with just an offer letter. And the processing times have blown out to months, not weeks. I'm hearing reports of students waiting 4 to 6 months for decisions. Plus, the age limit for the temporary graduate visa has been reduced to 35 years maximum. If you're over 35, you cannot apply for the post-study work visa anymore. That's devastating for mature-age students who came here specifically for that pathway to permanent residency. Wait, there's more about student visas you absolutely must know. The application fee increased by 25% in July 2025. It's now $2,000, up from $1,600. That's a $400 jump overnight. For families applying together, this adds up to thousands. And here's something nobody's talking about. Visa hopping is now banned. If you're in Australia on a tourist visa, you cannot switch to a student visa onshore. If you're on a temporary graduate visa, you cannot apply for another student visa. The government is cracking down hard on people using multiple visas to extend their stay. If you try to do this, your application will be refused, and you might face a 3-year ban from reapplying. Change number 3 is about the Skilled Independent Visa, and this will break your heart. The 189 visa places have been almost cut in half, from 32,000 slots down to just 16,900. That's a 47% reduction. This visa doesn't require employer sponsorship, so it was the most popular pathway to permanent residency. Now it's incredibly competitive. Your point score needs to be higher than ever. We're seeing cutoffs of 85 to 90 points for popular occupations like accountants, engineers, and IT professionals. If you're sitting on 70 or 75 points thinking you'll get invited, I'm sorry, but your chances are almost zero now. You need to find ways to increase your points immediately, get a spouse skills assessment, improve your English to superior level, or look at state sponsorship options. Let me pause here because this is critical information. The government is clearly shifting focus away from independent skilled migration toward employer-sponsored visas. Why? Because they want migrants who already have jobs lined up, who won't be competing for limited positions, who can contribute to the economy immediately. So if you're trying for permanent residency, your best strategy now is to secure employer sponsorship. Find a company willing to sponsor you under the Employer Nomination Scheme or the Skills and Demand Visa. Yes, it's harder. Yes, you're dependent on one employer. But it's becoming the most realistic pathway. Change number 4 is actually good news, but it comes with complications. The National Innovation Visa launched on December 6, 2024, replacing the Global Talent Visa and Business Innovation Visa. This is designed for entrepreneurs, investors, and people working in high-tech fields. The good news, it's a streamlined pathway with faster processing. The bad news, the investment thresholds are high, the eligibility criteria are complex, and you need to demonstrate genuine innovation or significant investment. This isn't for everyone. It's for people with substantial money, proven business success, or exceptional skills in fields like AI, renewable energy, quantum computing, or medical technology. If that's you, this visa could be your golden ticket. But for average skilled workers, it's not relevant. Change number 5 is about visa fees across the board, and this hurts. Almost all visa application fees increased by 3% in July 2025. That might not sound like much, but when you're talking about visas that cost $5,000, $8,000, or $10,000, 3% adds up fast. A partner visa now costs nearly $9,000. A skilled visa costs around $4,500 to $5,000. For families applying together, these costs are astronomical. And remember, application fees are non-refundable. If your application is refused, you lose all that money. So you need to be absolutely certain your application is strong before you submit it. Don't rush. Get professional advice. Make sure you meet every single requirement. Stop for a second and think about what this means. Australia is becoming one of the most expensive countries in the world for immigration. The government is deliberately making it harder and more costly to discourage people who aren't serious or who don't have the financial resources to establish themselves here. It's essentially economic gatekeeping. They want migrants who can afford to live here without relying on social services. Whether you agree with this policy or not, it's the reality you're dealing with. Change number 6 is about processing times, and this is causing massive frustration. Visa processing times have exploded across almost all categories. Student visas that used to take 4 to 6 weeks are now taking 3 to 6 months. Partner visas that were already slow at 18 to 24 months are now stretching to 30 months or more. Skilled visas are taking 6 to 12 months. Why? The Department of Home Affairs is severely understaffed, dealing with a massive backlog from COVID and implementing new security checks. What does this mean for you? You need to apply much earlier than you think. If you need your visa by a certain date, apply at least 6 months in advance, maybe even a year for some visa types, and be prepared for your life to be in limbo for a long time. Change number 7 is about permanent migration planning, and this affects everyone. The 2025 to 2026 Permanent Migration Program maintains 185,000 places, but the distribution has changed. Employer-sponsored visas increased to 44,000 places, up from 41,000. Skilled independent visas dropped to 16,900, as I mentioned. Family visas remain steady at around 52,500. What does this tell you? The government wants you to come with a job, not come and look for one. They want businesses to identify talent gaps and sponsor people to fill them. So your strategy needs to align with this priority. Focus on building relationships with Australian employers, getting job offers, and securing sponsorship. But wait, there's something else happening that you need to understand. Australia is experiencing record migration numbers. In the year to September 2024, net arrivals reached 415,760 people. That's the highest on record. This is putting enormous pressure on housing, infrastructure, and public services. The media is running stories about the housing crisis, rising rents, and overcrowding. Public sentiment is turning negative toward immigration. The government is feeling political pressure to reduce numbers. That's why we're seeing these stricter rules, higher fees, and reduced visa allocations. The next few years are going to be tough for people wanting to migrate to Australia. You need to be realistic about this. Now let me give you specific action steps based on these 7 changes. Action step 1. If you're applying for a skills in demand visa, do it before July 2025 when the salary threshold increases. Make sure your job offer meets the new minimum or negotiate a raise with your employer now. Don't wait. Action step 2. If you're a student or planning to study in Australia, understand that the pathway to permanent residency through study has become much harder. The temporary graduate visa age limit of 35 cuts off many people. Student visa fees are sky high. Processing times are brutal. You need to weigh whether this investment is still worth it for you. If you're under 30 and in a high-demand occupation, maybe yes. If you're older or in a low-demand field, think very carefully. Action step 3. If you're aiming for a skilled independent visa, maximize your point score immediately. Get your English to proficient or superior level. Get your partner skills assessed. Consider state sponsorship, which gives you extra points and slightly better chances, and have a backup plan because the competition is fierce. Action step 4. Focus on employer sponsorship as your primary strategy. Update your resume to Australian standards. Start applying for jobs in Australia. Use LinkedIn to connect with recruiters and hiring managers. Consider coming to Australia on a working holiday visa or bridging visa if possible, because it's easier to find sponsorship when you're already in the country. Action step 5. Budget properly for visa application costs. If you're applying as a family, you could be looking at $10,000 to $20,000 just in application fees, plus additional costs for skills assessments, English tests, health checks, police certificates, and migration agent fees if you use one. Make sure you have the financial resources before you start this process. Action step 6. Apply early and be patient. Don't expect quick processing. Plan your life around long wait times. Don't quit your job or sell your house until you have the visa granted. Too many people make irreversible life decisions based on expected timelines and then face disaster when processing takes longer than anticipated. Action step 7. Get professional advice if your case is even slightly complicated. Migration agents and lawyers cost money, but a refused application costs more in lost fees, lost time, and potential bans. If you have any criminal history, health issues, previous visa refusals, or complex family situations, do not DIY your application. Pay for professional help. Let me also tell you what not to do, because I see people making these mistakes constantly. Mistake 1. Applying without meeting all requirements hoping you'll get lucky. You won't. Australian immigration is strict. If you don't meet the criteria, your application will be refused. No exceptions. Mistake 2. Lying or exaggerating on your application. They check everything. False documents, fake job references, inflated work experience, it all gets caught. And when it does, you face a 10-year ban from Australia. Not worth it. Mistake 3. Using unregistered migration agents or consultants. There are scammers everywhere promising guaranteed visas. Only use registered migration agents. Check their credentials on the MARA website. If someone guarantees you a visa, they're lying. Run away. Mistake 4. Ignoring visa conditions. If your visa says you can only work 20 hours per week, don't work 40. If it says you must maintain health insurance, don't let it lapse. Breaching visa conditions can lead to cancellation and deportation. Mistake 5. Not keeping copies of everything. Keep digital and physical copies of every document you submit, every email you receive, every receipt, every certificate. You might need to reference something years later. Here's the bottom line. Australia is still one of the best countries in the world to migrate to. The quality of life, the job opportunities, the weather, the safety, the multicultural society, all of that is still true. But the pathway to getting here has become significantly harder in 2025. You need to be strategic, well-prepared, financially stable, and realistic about your chances. Not everyone will make it, but if you're determined, if you meet the criteria, and if you approach this process smartly, you can still achieve your Australian dream. Let me summarize the 7 changes one more time so they're crystal clear in your mind. Change 1. Skills in demand. Visa replaced TSS with new pathways and higher salary thresholds from July 2025. Change 2. Student visas require full payment upfront, age limits reduced, fees up 25%, and visa hopping banned. Change 3. Skilled independent visa places cut almost in half, making competition brutal. Change 4. National Innovation Visa launched for entrepreneurs and investors. Change 5. All visa fees increased by 3% in July 2025. Change 6. Processing times have blown out to months or years across all visa types. Change 7. Permanent migration program shifted focus toward employer-sponsored visas. So what should you do right now, today, after watching this video? Step 1. Assess your situation honestly. Which visa category are you targeting? Do you meet the requirements? What's changed that affects you? Step 2. Check the official Department of Home Affairs website for the latest information on your visa type. Bookmark it and check it regularly because rules change constantly. Step 3. Calculate your budget. How much will this cost in total? Can you afford it? Do you need to save more money first? Step 4. Start working on increasing your competitiveness. Improve your English. Get skills assessments, gain more work experience, build connections with Australian employers. Step 5. Set realistic timelines. If you want to be in Australia by late 2026, you probably need to start your application process now, not next year. If this video helped you understand the massive changes happening to Australian immigration, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel because I'm constantly posting updates about visa changes, policy updates, and immigration strategies. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss critical information. And please share this video with everyone you know who's planning to move to Australia. Your friends, family, colleagues, everyone needs this information. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 7 changes affects you the most? Are you still planning to apply for an Australian visa, or have these changes made you reconsider? I read every comment, and I respond to as many as I can. Plus, the community here is amazing, and people share really helpful insights and experiences. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. That shows you're serious about your Australian immigration journey. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about these changes, the better you can plan and adapt. Australia is tightening the rules, raising the bar, and making it more expensive and competitive. But it's not impossible. People are still getting visas every single day. It just requires more preparation, more patience, and more determination than before. Stay informed, stay focused on your goal, and don't give up. Your Australian future is still possible if you're willing to work for it. Until next time, good luck with your applications, and I'll see you in the next video.